of things, meaning that even if the question seems to be from someone more intent on finding things to debunk, if that question ultimately still serves a greater purpose, I will do my best to reply. Please bear in mind that in light of the above, many of my answers will need to exercise more brevity than I would ideally like, though this is necessary to respond to as many of you as I can. Without further delay, I shall continue with our discourse. Do you know me? Do you know who I'm? What part do I play in all this? When will I awake? Will I awake? Should I wake? I feel it in me, but I'm afraid to let it out. Help me. Do I know you, as the individuated human expression typing to me over cyberspace? No, I do not. What part do you play in all this? What part do you want to play? The choice, as always, is entirely yours. Whether you are consciously aware of it or not, you are co-creating the storyline on this planet. My advice would be to do so consciously. When will you awake? When do you want to awake? Do you want to awake at all? If your answer to this question is yes, then use the catalyst and tools we have provided for you. I have made many subtle, not so subtle, and even overtly blatant statements within this topic as to how you may choose to do this. I feel it in me, but I'm afraid to let it out. Help me. Why are you afraid? Do not reply to that question, but rather, ask it to yourself. During your quiet time, where you work upon yourself. You do work upon yourself, don't you? If not, now would be a good time to start. Sit in silence. Switch off all non-essential electrical appliances. Leaving the refrigerator on would probably be a good idea. The electromagnetic field they create disturbs your brainwave patterns and makes it difficult for your mind to achieve the deeper alpha and theta states conducive with relaxing deeply and hearing your inner voice. Ask your infinite creator to help you. Thank her, because you know that he will. Be honest with yourself. Why are you afraid? Remember that this is a game that you are playing, and that it is not reality. When you find and come to know your creator living within you, you will know that there is nothing to fear. Be the strong and courageous soul that deep down, you know yourself to be. Do not hide your inner light. Trust yourself, and shine your light into the darkness. We ask our one infinite creator to guide you, and illuminate your path. Other PTB, powers that be. Wes Penner's comment, focusing on creating a negative point in the universe to upset the balance of our universe. Number. Was the 911 ritual the creation of a Stargate? No, it was a ritual human sacrifice. That, and the obvious catalyst for the so-called war on terror. So could the predictions of Federation of Light's good child could have been true in a sense instead of a UFO, or our understanding of a UFO could be light bearers influencing mankind descend to a higher lower vibration status? She has a good heart. She just tuned into the wrong channel and listened to the wrong program. I mentioned before that if one does not exercise the appropriate protection and discernment, what was initially a positive channel can very easily become unknowingly corrupted by a negative one. When they start giving you dates and times, you know that something is amiss. Giving dates and times that are not going to come to pass succeeds in putting out the light of the channeler's message by destroying the credibility of the messenger. Is a creation of fear, terror, horror and suffering by your kind to create loose emotions for feeding at the time of harvest. Number. Are the bloodlines that have been infused with the ancient wisdoms trying to become gods themselves? There is no need to try. Humanity needs to grow beyond the stagnating concept of gods. The idea of God takes the power out of your own hands and places it upon some shadowy unknown figure, somewhere out there. In other words, outside of yourself. Instead of God, see creator. So, there is no need to try. We already are creators, and so are you. The only question is, will you create consciously or subconsciously? What is 11.11? Think of it as an alarm clock. What are alarm clocks for? Please explain how newborn babies are infused with spirits after birth. They are not. A soul enters into its physical container usually long before the birthing process, sometimes later, but still before the actual birth. Does a website like this serve the purpose of negative generating? That depends upon how you use it. It has the potential to be either negative or positive. It is up to you how you use the potential. What is wrong with having an ego, and why do the new age religions try to suppress the ego? Without an ego it seems as though one can't ponder his own existence, or in fact learn from the wealth of knowledge that we are searching for and making mistakes and correcting those mistakes. There is nothing wrong with having an ego. Your ego is an excellent and invaluable tool. Yet, as with any tool, if you do not have it under control, it carries the potential to become dangerous and do you and others much harm. Strangely, my concern is that I will be recycled back onto the wheel of life and be reborn with a new brain and lose everything I have so arduously learned in this lifetime. Your soul remembers everything you've ever experienced. The only reason you don't remember it all now is due to what we term the veil of forgetfulness. If you came into each new incarnation with access to your soul memory, there's no point in your coming into space-time. It would be like playing a computer game with all the cheats. You wouldn't learn anything, and it takes the fun out of playing the game. Remember that this current physical body you carry around with you is not who you are. It's just the vessel for your essence. Who you are is real and cannot be destroyed. You will retain all your memories of this life experience once you pass on to the realm of time-space, or that which some call heaven. Space-time is illusion. Time-space is real. That infinite being living within and around your body, namely your soul, is who you really are. The part of you that thinks, and feels, and loves. It will always be a part of you. My dream is to be a master such as yourself. I am not a master. I am a growing and evolving soul, just as you are. We're just at different stages of our development. You'll get to where you desire to be. It takes time and patience. Be sure to make time to enjoy the journey. I endeavor each day to master myself and change. To develop a mind that has mastery over my body. I feel I have come so far in this lifetime and yet not far enough. You are on the right path, in that you are consciously choosing to work upon yourself. Many there are in this world, who are not even aware of such a concept. Remember though, that it is not only the mind you must develop, but also your soul. Work with your feelings as well as your thoughts. Cultivate compassion, as that is the main thing you will begin working with in fourth density. See yourself within all others, and treat others as you would like to be treated yourself. Then remember this one crucial thing. There are no others. My dream is to one day personally meet great masters like yourself and learn what you know. Then here is what you must do. Go and find yourself a mirror. Gaze deeply into it, and then say this magic word, hello, and you will indeed meet with us. Backstage, once the game is over, when you see us out of costume you will recognize us as your age-old friends. Thank you for coming here and sharing your vast knowledge of the universe. I have much to ponder. You are welcome. Thank you for your questions. I feel the desire within you to progress. You have it within yourself, to be all that you wish to become, and much more that you cannot yet even imagine. We look forward to sitting down for a good old reminisce with you on the other side. In the meantime, keep trusting in, and working upon yourself, and live each moment in thanksgiving to our one infinite creator. May our infinite creator bless and guide your path. Honor Madam. I wish to be the one to bring a new planetary energy system to the world. As it is assumed that the families have great knowledge, I humbly request access to this small bit of needed information. A U2U message to set up a more secure route of communication would be splendid. I presume. I am aware I can never be a member, but acolyte would suffice. I am also aware a trade-off would be in the offing, and discussions of such would be held with respect, though not with guaranteed acceptance. I await your reply. I am sorry that this is not possible. One is born into the family and raised in a very specific and rigorous way, which engenders unwavering loyalty. No matter how keen and sincere one may be to join us, we can only place our trust in those raised in our ways. I would not wish the conditioning process we go through on anyone. It can be grueling at times, and it is too late to begin the process once childhood has passed. As for further communication, unfortunately this is also not possible or allowable for me. I have given as much information as is permissible for me. During this discourse, there are many informational gems within these pages, for those who truly seek to develop themselves. Some are obvious, others are more subtle and multi-layered. Take them within, and ask your infinite creator to bring you insight. We wish you well upon your journey, and look forward to seeing you at the after show party. I'm still not clear on what this harvest is. A harvest means to reap what has been sown. By you. Not by us. We did not sow. Our infinite creator did. We do not reap. Our infinite creator does. We help to prepare the harvest, by separating the wheat from the chaff, for want of a more eloquent metaphor. Will it be an instantaneous change, of which there will no longer exist the physical realm as we currently know it to be and are experiencing as an illusion? I have already covered this elsewhere in the topic. I would encourage you to read through again and find the information I have already presented on how the harvest will occur and what the different variations of experience will be. Thank you for answering my previous questions. I have some more, if that's okay. 1. How can karma be overcome, if at all? Is there an end to the karmic cycle? 2. Is time really as we perceive it, or is it another 3D illusion? 3. Are your family members born with the knowledge of what they are and where they are from? If not, and it's all taught and passed down, have you ever doubted or questioned any of it? Thanks. You are welcome. 1. No, karma cannot be overcome. It must be worked off. In other words, if you've hurt someone, be it physically, emotionally, or however else, you will have to, at some future point, experience what that felt like for them. The law of karmic effect is not a punishment, it is a tool of learning, which is set in place to promote personal growth and development. If you have to feel the consequences of your actions, there is a higher likelihood of your choosing a different course the next time around. It is also important to hold in mind that it works both ways. Seek therefore to ensure that the effects of your presence upon those others whom you encounter upon your journey are positive and beneficial. 1b. A karmic cycle is brought to completion once you have learned the lessons intended for you from it. If you keep repeating the same mistakes, you'll keep cycling until such a time as you get the message and break the cycle. But yes, ultimately, all of us will learn that which we need to learn, and all of us will find our way home. For some, it just takes longer than others. 2. Linear time is more accurately described as an intentional fabrication. The true nature of time is cyclical, though. Remember also that even cyclical time is part of creation, and creation, beautiful as it may be, is also an illusion, or more accurately, a thought form of our infinite creator. Creation is not real, but the creator and co-creators of it are. 3. This is an excellent question. I will devote some time to it. Firstly, there is a distinction to be made. When I speak of family in this particular reply, I am referring to the power lines, i.e., those that do not originate from this planet. The bloodlines that you know of, whilst they are a part of our extended family, are not born with the same extent of spiritual esoteric power that we are, and in this response, I am referring to our true and pure family. We are not born with the same veil of forgetfulness as you are. The veil is still in place, but would be most accurately described as being somewhat thinner. We see the invisible connections of life which are hidden from you, because we retain access to more than just the third density perspective, not dissimilar to the manner in which some people can see what you call auras. This is because you are working your way up, whereas we have chosen to step down, in order to help you. We could not do this as successfully if we had to forget all that we have learned. In other words, to you, everything appears as being separate. We see that this is not the case. We do not have direct soul memory, as in the manner that you remember what you did yesterday, but we may access any portion of our soul memory we so chose when we focus upon it, often in a meditative state. Personally, my experiences are different again, in other ways, due to my specialty in the spiritual disciplines, but I will go into that in more detail later. In response to another question, yes, information is indeed passed down, though unlike for yourselves, any one of us may, with some effort, check the validity of that information from our personal and group soul memory. Basically, where you see yourselves as separate human beings, we see and know that we are one. Then I am glad I picked up on that particular point. I found it to be a real ray of light, though I'm unsure what to do with it. This information feels as though it should comfort me, and yet it's difficult to feel comfortable knowing that evil, in part, makes us who we are. But thank you nonetheless. Evil is not who you are. It is part of the complex series of illusions that you use in third density to show you who you are not. The further up through the densities you work, the less polarity plays an important part in the game. The sixth density, the density of unity, is the last level that polarity is a factor, but even then, it factors in a very different way. Instead of balancing positive negative, you will be balancing love light, compassion wisdom. That's true, and I'm glad you pointed that out to me. I think what I really meant when I